Welcome back, everybody. This is the first semifinal match here in Qualifier number 4. We have Zero leading 1-0 over Braintoss going into Neo Aztec.
Yeah, that was some pretty serious stuff. Braintoss, he's got an uphill battle now to show us his quality, because after that one, I'm pretty sure none of us are feeling that convinced by his overall skill. But he must be doing something right. He's got all the way through to this stage so far. And to get through to this stage, you have to not lose a single game. It's worth remembering. And that can be sometimes
Round of 8 is best of 3.
Oh, round of 8 is best of 3 as well. So yeah,
right.
he could have lost at most one game for this stage. But he's got all the way through to the semi-final, so he must have been doing something right for the rest of the day. I hope we see that out of him here.
Yeah. And of course, he's got his highly ranked ladder accounts. Now, of course, nowadays the laddering is a bit wonky, but still, I mean, it's still not easy to get B+. I mean, no matter what people say about ladder ranks nowadays, B+ is still impressive. Yeah. So, and he's got 2 of them, so he's got to be decent, and he's got to play a decent number of games as well.
Yeah, so he must be, that's what we can learn, in fairly good practice and a pretty good player. So I think he's got more to give than he gave last game. Last game felt really lackluster, and he looked pretty inferior compared to Zero, whereas presumably that isn't genuinely the case.
Maybe he was just messing with us again. Maybe that was a fake out. He's going to bust out the sick Protoss play this time.
He's just a funny guy.
All right, so let's go on to game number 2. And here we go at the 12 o'clock position as the green Protoss, we have Braintoss. And at the bottom left position, as the teal Zerg, we have Zero kicking out our poor observer, Salinas. Such a nice guy, and ejected from the game.
Yeah, it always happens to the good ones, doesn't it? They always get ejected early. That's a new phrase right there. But yeah, so the map is going to be Neo Aztec, of course, this being the second set in our best of 3 in this semi-final. And kind of interested to see how this kind of plays out. So who would you say this favors overall? Would you lean towards the Protoss? Would you lean towards the Zerg?
I think it's a decent map for Zerg. It is quite hard to get a third gas on this map, at least for Protoss against Zerg and for Terrans as well. So whereas the Zerg obviously can just take another natural and get his gases that way, and it doesn't really matter. So I definitely think Protoss has to be a little bit more aggressive on 2 base. It's a little bit trickier to follow up into the mid game.
Yeah, it can be, and as we saw before with who was it we played against? Mad, sorry.
Pez.
Pez, yeah, I know Pez playing Terran, but even so, you see how easily taken down that middle base is when Zerg kind of gets the momentum behind them and starts streaming in units. It's just really vulnerable and can be hard to get down and defend again, because you have to push down that awkward ramp to get there, or you have to get around where you can easily be cut off. So it is difficult to get another gas base up and running. And each player has kind of a different way of dealing with that. But right away, we have a 9-pool speed in here from
Overpool.
Was it an overpool?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, overpool speed from Zero, so he's not messing around. He's going to try and get it done early.
Yeah, that's interesting. You'd think that going for speed, you'd just go the whole way and go the 9-pool, but
yeah, that's what I
and you can see, yeah, that's completely reasonable, I think. But you can see he's actually going for the expansion as well. So I'm wondering if actually this might not necessarily be just for speed, but he's going to try and follow up with some kind of fast lair tech. I mean, we already saw South Park go for lurker drops against Fold on this map, remember? So some kind of sneaky shenanigans like that I think are definitely possible here.
Yeah, but this is interesting. He's got that early gas, yet he's pulled 1 drone off it. So that I kind of find that a little bit strange, because of course he could have just made it later and then he wouldn't have had to do this weird drone pulling. So only mining with 2 drones, I'm not quite sure what that means. I don't quite know what that symbolism is and how that works out. But he is making a few extra lings. He's got 5. Presumably he must have 6. I don't know where the 6th one is. a little bit strange.
Looks like it's randomly just stopping at the bottom right of the main. But yeah, basically what happened there with the drones was he tried to be cute and pull them exactly so that he'd only have 100 gas and no more, and he just like completely messed it up and didn't know how to do it, and he just did it wrong and had too much gas anyway. But he has resumed gas mining now that the SCV has gone out. So, oh, sorry, the probe, excuse me. So I think it was also partly a trick. So he's pretending he's like, okay, I'm just getting speed, you know, I'll maybe try a speeding run by and then, you know, I'll play normally. But actually, I'm pretty sure now he's going for the lair, especially, look at this, trying to deny that probe. Definitely up to no good. All right, let's see, the lair. Where's the lair at? Come on, you got the lair. Lair me, bro. Come on, lair me.
Yeah, there it is. Called it correctly, the lair coming in. Looks like he might try a little bit of a kind of token run by thing, but he's not going to make too much of an effort for that. He just wants to fool his opponent into thinking that's what's really happening. And of course, we can see that Braintoss quite suspicious. He has put quite a few extra probes at the front to block, but hasn't made any extra cannons, so it hasn't really cost him too much. And once he's got his out, he should feel much happier in pulling those probes back to mine. But link speed is now in, so you know there's no reason for Zero not to try his luck and see if he can make a little bit of a dash through and do something.
He has to make... No, I don't think he should, though. Oh, man, he's going to go for it. I really don't think that's a good idea. These speedlings must stop any probe scout. That is their entire function. He's not going to win with the speedlings, but he could win with whatever the lair tech is. And in order for that to happen, he needs to make sure it's not scouted. These 8 speedlings are perfectly capable of denying any probe scout from leaving right now. There's no way for the Protoss to see what's coming until the Stargate is finished, until the Corsair is finished, and that will not be in time for whatever... Zero is planning here, whether it be Spire or Lurkers. It looks like it's going to be Spire. It looks like it's going to be 2H Muta. Let's see it. Spire. Boom. So 2H Muta is coming out. It's going to be really aggressive. And I love how he also poked in, as you said, just faking out his opponent, pretending like he's going for the run. But look, he's keeping 3 probes off the line from mining, which is really nice at this early stage in the game. Definitely hurting his opponent's economy. This is going to be really troublesome for the Protoss when these Mutas hit.
This is going to be such a problem because he hasn't had a probe out on the map for a long time. He's really in the dark. He has no idea what's going to be coming at him. We can only hope, for his sake, that his reaction to that is to play safe and make an extra cannon in his natural main mineral line. But there are plenty of Protoss who wouldn't bother doing that and who would just kind of take the risk because it probably saves them more games than it loses not to spend that extra money. Look at that, making that Citadel already. Still not any sign of any kind of photon cannon defense in his main or in his natural. He'd need another pylon up even to get a decently positioned cannon probably in his natural, unless he was placed it to the right of the Nexus above the gas mining path. But it's getting a bit late in the day to be doing anything like that. First Corsair is now out. Will he pause on the way to kill the Overlord? No, he's going straight to the base. Very sensible decision from Braintoss, and always one I would recommend if you have no idea what your Zerg opponent is doing. Yeah,
that could actually save his life, especially because you'll see the second gas very early. Alright, second gas seen, very suspicious. Larva saved, extremely suspicious. That's probably Mutas by itself without even seeing the Spire. Now it's obviously Mutas. Alright, cannons, emergency, go! These cannons will be in time to stop Mutas. I think if he plays it safe, if he plays it carefully, he will actually be okay. I said the Corsair wouldn't be in time, but actually I was wrong because my timing sucks. But yes, this is actually perfect for Braintoss now. If he had stopped to kill that Overlord, he'd probably just insta-die. But because he did it and scouted, he's now okay.
I would kind of prefer 2 cannons in the main, I have to say, because it's easy for Mutas to get through 1 cannon. The natural is a bit different because the Corsairs can pull back and they can shelter with those 2 cannons that he had already. But it starts to get quite edgy when you've only got 1 cannon in the main, especially once Scourge come into play. And we don't have any Scourge yet, but I'm sure that will happen at some later stage.
Yep, and I think just as you said that, 2 Scourge were going in to join the party. +1 air carrier base also on the way. There's 3 Corsairs out though. He's making a 4th one. He's actually getting +1 air weapons as well, but he's got to be so careful. If these Corsairs get Scourged, that 1 cannon is going to do nothing against the Mutas. And you can see they're still providing, still able to snipe some probes because the cannon is a little bit far back. He needs to not chase though. He can see the Corsairs. He knows about, he can see the Scourge rather. He knows about the Scourge. He knows he has to be careful. A 4th Corsair is about to pop, and it looks like he is mostly defending his probes here. Gonna lose another one right there, and oh, he might lose the Corsair. No, the Scourge actually died.
Yeah, it would have been better for Zero, instead of microing the Scourge with his Mutas, to just send the Scourge right in and try and grab those Corsairs while he still could. Instead, the 2 Scourge go down completely without doing anything at all, and that's a little bit of a break for our good friend Braintoss, who is seeing this Muta pressure away without too much trouble. He's now got 4 Corsairs. He might have 5 soon if he feels in the mood to make another one. I would recommend it, since Zero is actually sticking with the Muta pressure. He's producing more Mutas back at home, so it looks like he is fairly well committed to that. More Mutas coming out of his 2 hatcheries as well, and some Scourge too on top of it. So he is fairly well committed to this, so an extra couple of Corsairs would definitely not go amiss for Braintoss at this stage, just to make him safe from Scourge and large numbers of Museless, which we're going to be seeing in a second.
Oh, it looks like Braintoss killing one of his own cannons in the natural because he's blocking his gas. But yeah, as you said, it's interesting because he's getting +1 air weapons, so you know he should be making more Corsairs if he's going to get that. But I don't know. I wonder if he just doesn't want to overcommit, just in case Zero tries some kind of crazy tech switch and goes mass Hydra, and he's just got all these Corsairs and doesn't have any Templar tech. Because remember, he's still on 2 gas, and Corsairs are very expensive gas-wise. So you know he needs to get the Templars out as well. And you can just see he's really just hurting on the gas front. So got to be very careful with that. I mean, you know, there is actually a very sneaky ZVP all-in where you actually go 2-hatch Muta, you make like 3 Mutas, and then you just pure switch into Hydras and just bust the front. It's really funny. But yeah, you just got to be aware of that. But no, as we can see, it's not the case. There's a lot of Scourge being made. I love all these Scourge. We saw South Park try and... Was it South Park try to go mass Muta against Fold's Corsairs? But only made Muta, didn't make Scourge? You have to make all these Scourge to do it. You have to get a flank off. And here we go, he's going for it! An Archon's being made, but it's not enough! There's not enough Corsairs! The air weapons is not finished! Oh my god, the Corsairs are just gonna get Scourged! Oh my god, every single Corsair Scourged! The Archon falls straight away! Braintoss could just be dead to the follow-up Muta attack here. Oh my goodness. He has this... Oh! No! The Money Storm! But he's got no follow-up. He has no follow-up to the Storm, though. Oh man, if he had that Storm at the beginning, it would have been beautiful.
The Corsair could do huge damage to this remaining Mutaclump right now. It could take out a fair number of them, just using its splash damage alone, but it's not targeting the damaged Mutaclump. He's got another Corsair on the way out, and he needs to save that one. 2 Corsairs, significantly better than 1, and he's running that one away now, but that Storm might just be enough to save him in this game. He's doing a decent attack, counter-attack. He's killed the Zerg third, so that's a good start if he's ever going to get back into this game. But this is a really great argument for why you should make 2 cannons, not just 1, when there's a strong possibility of a big follow-up Muta attack coming in.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool move, though, by Zero, I gotta say, and a bit of a blunder by Braintoss to not make additional Corsairs. But here we go. The main is completely forfeit. He might lose his Archives as well. No more Archon possibility, although it doesn't look like he's even doing that. Meanwhile, the Spew Zealot's trying to go for a counterattack, but easily chased down by some of these Mutas. I think, how many Corsairs does he have now? Wait, where are the Corsairs?
Only 1.
Oh, and one more pops out. He's got to escape though. I think he's okay.
Yeah, he should be alright. Zero is able to micro fairly well, but the Corsair does make it away safely. I'm surprised that any of those Zealots are still remaining, but it looks like the
middle base died. I did not notice that.
Yeah, it died a little while ago with a Zealot counterattack, so maybe enough to keep Braintoss in it. But it's really weird that he hasn't made. God damn it, Braintoss! What are you doing with those Corsairs? A bunch of Museless running into the cannon fire right there, but not losing too many of their number. But it's really weird that Braintoss chose to make another gateway in this natural rather than another Stargate. I would have thought Stargate would be the obvious choice.
Yeah, that's interesting, but he does have an Archon now, though. That's going to help a lot. He does have to still be careful, obviously, because well-spread Mutas can still hurt him. Now, remember, Zero's economy is not actually amazing anyway, so a well-saturated 1 Protoss base is actually not too far behind the 2 base of the Zerg. And here we go, the Archon's being targeted down. He has to be careful. The Corsair is trying to save it. He's trying to run back to the natural. He's got to keep the Archon alive. The Archon, though, is going to not fall. Suicide 2 Mutas just to finish it off.
Very nice. Very sensible play right there from Zero. And we have a big Zealot counterattack coming in the National Expansion. That's definitely not going to be enough. There's a Sun Colony, there's a good number of Hydras, but it looks like Braintoss is about ready to give up in this one. That looked like more of a last-ditch attack than anything. He must have known that that was never going to be successful. There are just a huge number of Mutas in his main, killing absolutely everything. There is nothing left now. No pylons at all, apart from the one right on the edge, and that's not powering anything. A completely dead, derelict Protoss base right now, devoid of life. And useless to basically everybody. Mutas now coming in to try and have a bit of a go. Then after they may be able to take out that last remaining Corsair, and there is just really nothing that Braintoss can do. He's going to try and reproduce a couple of High Templar to get an Archon going again. But these Hydras, in conjunction with the Mutas, are probably going to be enough to finish it off. Zero is going to be coming in for the killer blow. Braintoss is going to find himself in more than serious trouble in just a second here. He has no main. The Mutas are coming in, and that is a lot of Museless right here. More than a control group, and they're just easily able to take care of the cannons.
GG! Zero takes it down 2-0, easy peasy, and goes on to the finals of this qualifier. Braintoss is out. I don't think he will have enough points to qualify.
That's
What is it? Isn't it like 65 points though for a third, fourth place?
Yeah.
I think it might be on the edge. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's not enough though.
I don't think that's enough. But to be honest, didn't blow me away in those games. He definitely looked outclassed by Zero as far as I could tell.
Yeah. So, well, there we go. Our first Zerg in the finals. We're going to come back for our second semifinals after the break. And by the way, guys, I realize there are some video audio sync issues. Sorry about that. That means I'm going to quickly restart the stream right now while the ads are playing. So hopefully it'll just be no delay. So, yeah, stream's going to go off and be back in just a second. All right. See you guys in a sec.